So for the Namokar mantra, which is one of the essential and starting point mantras, the key Maha mantra of Jainism, uh, is as universal as Jainism itself. So, and what the mantra says is it's Namo Arihantanam, which is Ari. Ari ka matlab hai dushman. We are talking about our inner enemies which keep us separated from our own self. The inner enemies do nothing, there are no other enemies except those which separate us from who we really are. So, Namo Arihantanam. So, I bow down to those who have defeated their enemies. Hantyani, defeat. So, Arihantanam, defeated the inner enemies of jealousy, possessiveness, avarice, anger, aversion, craving, so many things which keep us separated from who we really are. And like we were saying, yeah, the last time, there is nothing actually inherently, nothing is your enemy as such. You know, everything is you, everything, including this anger, including everything is you. So it is only the enemy in the sense that it separates you from you. Otherwise, it is also simply an energy, simply a form of truth, form of what is, form of divine. So while we wish to conquer these uh, these enemies, it is not with a sense of hatred. It is not with a sense of aversion, as if there's something wrong with jealousy or possessiveness. It's just one more characteristic, it is just one more form. Just like the ocean has waves, and it has tidal waves, and it has storm, and it has all kinds of things, but it does not stop being a wave, and it does not stop being the ocean, and it does not stop being water. It is still just different forms of the same thing. And yet, if we wish to um, ride the wave, no boat can survive if it simply clashes with the waves. The boat survives as a result of riding the wave. In a sense, befriending the wave. It is when the boat befriends the big wave is when it actually survives. Not just befriend it and ride it, but embracing the wave. If the boat attempts to clash with the wave, to fight with the wave, we know who will win. The wave will win, not the boat. So even all these so-called enemies are not to be fought as such. The first step in winning them over is to accept them and to see that indeed they are just forms of the same thing, another side of the same thing. Just as if we encounter hatred, if we encounter hatred and if we wish to see through the separation that hatred clearly separates. I mean, there is no doubt in anyone's mind that hatred is something that separates, isn't it? So if we wish to conquer, if we wish to overcome hatred, then we cannot fight hatred. Because the very act of fighting hatred cannot happen without first generating hatred. So in the process of attempting to fight with this hatred, what we end up doing is creating more of that, exactly the one which we want to overcome. It reminds me of that the Mahakali and that demon, the demon where every drop of blood that falls creates more demon, or more stronger demon. So it's only when the Devi is able to lick the blood before it drops on the ground. And what is licking the blood? Licking the blood is nothing but accepting it, first of all. Not only accepting it as acceptable, it is accepting it as embraceable. Not only embraceable, but imbibable. That I accept it to the point where I am willing to make it part of me and accept it fully. Only then that hatred transforms. So embracing that wave, embracing those enemies, so-called enemies of of uh, of whatever it is that separates us, and and when we embrace that, when we allow that, when we are okay with it. So hatred, when once we see that hatred, what is hatred in its reality? What is the reality of hatred? I mean, hatred is probably the strongest of all these things that clearly separate us. There is anger, there is jealousy, there is possessiveness, there is craving, there is aversion. But I'm choosing hatred as the example because probably it is the most strongest one, which uh, which creates separation, creates a sense of me here and you there. I hate this person, I hate this thing, I hate this place, I hate this, whatever it is. I hate. So seeing through the facade, seeing through the the front layer, seeing through the what it appears to be, is what it takes to overcome hatred. Seeing through it. And what is hatred? So hatred is, in its essence, what is hatred? What is the essence of hatred? What is the main ingredient for hatred to exist? The main ingredient for hatred to exist is actually
Non-acceptance.
non-acceptance. Yeah, non-acceptance. Yeah, which is one. Yeah, this is where it starts. You don't accept what it is, and therefore that non-acceptance, intensified, becomes hate. Non-acceptance is very mild. Oh, I'm not going to take this. Or and then it can escalate into a dislike. मुझे ये पसंद नहीं है, मैं ये नहीं चाहता हूँ, मुझे ये पसंद नहीं है, और भी इंटेंस हो गया तो मैं इसे बिल्कुल नापसंद करता हूँ, एंड एट द एंड ऑफ इट मैं इससे नफरत करता हूँ. बट what is the basis of hatred? What is the concept पाए पर? What is the foundation of
Maybe
hatred?
search for love,
Yeah, not
happiness.
yeah, not maybe, definitely. Not maybe, definitely search for love. Not even a search for love, love itself. Hatred cannot exist in the absence of love. The very basis of hatred is love. The very basis of it is love. If we can see through hatred,
So when love is lost, then we start hating.
love is never
Exactly.
law. Yeah, no. So love is,
And
yeah,
the
now,
degree changes.
yeah, the degree changes, but love is never lost. Love is only hidden. The more it is hidden, the more it doesn't look like love. And the more deeper it's hidden to a point where it starts to look like hate. But if you dig into that hate and actually are willing to go through looking at what it is, it cannot exist without love. Love is present, you just have to look hard. So, I hate something is actually a statement of, उसको दूसरी तरफ से देखेंगे तो you are saying I love something else. There is something else that I love. So unless there is something else that you love, you cannot hate anything. So the basis of that hatred is love. And just like any emotion, all emotion, the basis of all emotion is what? An emotion does not exist without a combination of a thought and a feeling. Emotion kya hai? It's a combination of a thought and a feeling.
Jealousy.
What about it? What about it, Priyanka? Jealousy?
I think that's why we hate.
Yeah,
We
that can
have
be
a
the
lot of
cause.
negativity
That
in
can
our
be the,
life.
yeah, that is a cause.
Like people are jealous of each other, and that's the first thing that makes us hate something or someone.
Right, right. But what is jealousy? Jealousy is also, if you look deeper into jealousy, what is the basis of jealousy? The basis of jealousy is love. If you there is no love, there cannot be jealousy.
Hmm.
So it's looking like jealousy. It takes on a, it's just like a tidal wave is destructive, but a nice gentle ocean wave is very beautiful. So, but yet the tidal wave and that gentle wave are both nothing but water, nothing but ocean. So jealousy has destructive properties, properties of separation, properties of more and more separation from who you are, separation from a feeling of closer to who, what your true qualities are of lovingness, of compassion, of beauty, of truth, of love. It separates you from that. But yet it is made up of nothing but love. Just like the tidal wave is made of nothing but water. So jealousy also cannot exist without love, right? If you look at jealousy, if I'm jealous of some, let's say my neighbor buys, you know, a Tesla, and I feel jealous. Oh, I wish I had a Tesla or a Mercedes or whatever it is. First of all, can this jealousy exist without my love for Tesla cars or my love for a Mercedes? It cannot. So, so it's just that instead of taking a form of expressing, my love for Tesla can be expressed in many ways, or my love for a Mercedes car can be expressed in many ways, by studying it, by understanding it, by experiencing it, even by buying it or doing whatever it takes to buy it. Um, but instead, it takes on a form called jealousy, which separates you even further from this thing, object that you love. If you're filled with jealousy for this neighbor for having a Mercedes and you don't have one, it doesn't take you in the direction of a Mercedes. It takes you in the direction away from what you truly love, which is a Mercedes. It takes you into oh, maybe whatever. In relationships, it takes you into somehow I'm going to hurt this person now because they are doing something which I don't like, and I actually love them, but because they are doing something that I don't like, I am jealous for their happiness or whatever it is. And now what my energies and thoughts are directed at is, how can I hurt this person? And what happens as a result of that thought process? The person actually moves even further away from you, and instead of bringing you closer to the thing that you love, which is this person, you are now even more separated. So it is misdirected love. It is misdirected love. It is misunderstood love. It is misshapen love. It is misguided love. But yet it is love. You understand? So even hatred is just misdirection of love. Um, let's say we talk about at a national level, and you say, I hate this enemy of the country. I hate this country. I hate that country because they are enemies of my country, and I hate that country. So what are you really saying? What should you and can you really be saying? What you are really saying, the underlying statement, the subtext, and we have talked about subtext before. What is the subtext of the statement, I hate this XYZ country? The subtext of that statement is, I love my country. I love India. That is the subtext. So the subtext, the text that comes out, oh, I hate this country, hate that other country. But the actual subtext of that statement is, I love my country. So this I love my country becomes falsely translated to, I hate that one. And that misdirection of love actually separates you from that thing which you love, which is even your own country. So now your efforts, your energy, your thoughts are directed at destroying that one rather than at building this one. And the same thing happens on the other side of the border. Instead of focusing on loving their own country, the energy is all focused on, I hate that other country. And so rather than developing themselves and bringing joy, pride, progress into their own land, which is really what they want. Because what are they saying? I love my country. So instead of doing that, we get sidetracked. We get off on a detour. And sometimes the detour is so bad that it is actually, instead of going towards where you want to go, it's a U-turn. And you're moving further away from where you really want to go. So the way to the arihant, the conquering this enemy, the conquering the enemies of our own so-called weaknesses, the first step, the very first step is to see that these weaknesses are not something to be avoided. They are not something to be shunned. They are not something to be pushed away, hated, punished, destroyed. No. The one and only way to overcome those things that separate us from ourselves is to love and accept those things as simply, and understand that they are simply misguided forms of of that understanding of love. And when we see that, here's another way to get to that same place, which is all emotions, um, even let's say anger, fear, all such emotions, they are nothing. Everything is, all of those are just a combination of a thought and a feeling. It's a thought and a feeling, and then we label that particular kind of thought and feeling as, oh, this we call anger. But what is a thought? A thought is nothing but the process of thinking. And what is the process of thinking? If not the knowing of that thought. If we do not know this process of thinking, if we do not know this thought, the thought doesn't exist. And what is the knowing of the process of thinking other than the awareness of it? And what is the substance or the basis of existence of that, if not awareness? So, just as anything that happens in a dream, the basis of the existence of whatever happens in the dream is the mind of the dreamer. Otherwise, it has no reality at all. उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है, उसका कोई substance नहीं है, उसका कोई वजूद नहीं है. So, similarly, anger does not exist in the absence of my own consciousness. What is the substance of fear? What is the substance of anger? What is the substance of sorrow? What is the substance of grief? The true basis or the true reality of all of these is nothing but awareness. And the awareness is nothing but the I that experiences awareness, the I that you are. So the basis of all of this goes, if you trace it down to its root, it is only I. There is only consciousness, only awareness. And same thing with the feeling. एक feeling जो है, feeling भी क्या है? Feeling is just a sensation somewhere in the body. And can a sensation in a body exist without the awareness of that sensation, without the knowing of that sensation? If you don't know that the sensation exists, it doesn't, it's like saying, can I dream without falling asleep? Can't. Falling asleep is an essential ingredient. That process of falling asleep is an essential ingredient of everything that happens in the dream. Can I have a dream without the dreamer? Nothing can happen without the dreamer. Anything that happens in the dream, the basis is the dreamer. So that's another way to approach anger, fear, grief, sorrow. That the basis of all of this is awareness, is the knowing of it, is the knowledge that I am. So many ways to get there. Right. Who is the dreamer in me? Right, Sharad is asking. Who is the dreamer in me? Who is the dreamer in you? So, how do you know? So, supposing you are inside actually dreaming, asleep and dreaming, and you want to find out who is this person who is dreaming this dream, what would you do? You would have to trace back from everything, anything that happens in a dream, you would have to trace it back to who is the one who is experiencing this dream. let's say you're dreaming you're walking around on the streets of New Delhi, like I was yesterday. then the way to know who is the dreamer is to keep tracing it back to who is experiencing this walk in the street of Delhi. You won't find the dreamer in Delhi. You won't find the dreamer in the walk. You won't find the dreamer in the street. You won't find the dreamer in the fear, the thoughts, the emotions, everything that's going on. You won't find the dreamer in any of that. In your dream, you have to ask yourself, who is experiencing this dream? Isn't it? Ordinary apna jo sapna hai, our ordinary dream. If you were inside the dream and that dreamt character wants to know who is the guy who is lying on bed having this dream, if you wanted to find out, you would have to keep asking yourself the question inside the dream कि ये जो सब जो भी हो रहा है, इस ये अनुभव इसको कौन कर रहा है? तो ये इमारत जो है, शायद मुझे कुतुब मीनार दिख रहा है, तो ये कुतुब मीनार का अनुभव कौन कर रहा है? सपने में अगर कुतुब मीनार दिखता है, you need to ask yourself, let's say you're looking at the Qutub Minar, you are inside a dream and you want to know who is the dreamer. You would have to ask yourself, who is actually experiencing this Qutub Minar? And it seems as if it is that dreamt character. But if you trace back that dreamt character also, who is experiencing this dreamt character? Who is experiencing the feelings and the sight and the sounds that this dreamt character is experiencing? If you trace that back further back, you'd arrive at Sharad, who is lying in bed dreaming. You'd arrive there. So the same process, if we follow in this world, in this dream called life, and we ask, and it is very simple, you ask yourself, any experience, what are your experiences? Okay, you are listening right now. You are listening, I am talking, I am listening, or I am thirsty, or I am tired, or I am interested, or I am engaged, or I am bored, or I am curious, or I am wondering, or I am, if you look at each one of you present here, each one right now, what are you experiencing? Somebody may say, wow, I am just engaged, I'm enthralled. Somebody may say, oh, I'm bored. Somebody may say, I'm tired. Somebody may say, I am not even there. I'm just, I'm not paying attention. Or I'm very attentive. I'm eager. Different. Each one of us will have a different answer to filling in the blank. I am blank right now. So just like in the dream, whether it's a Qutub Minar or an Eiffel Tower or a Taj Mahal or Amitabh Bachchan or whatever going on in your dream, what is the common factor? The common factor for the whole dream is the dreamer. And in this, whatever conversation we are having, जो अभी अनुभव हो रहा है, सभी को अलग अलग अनुभव हो रहे हैं, उसका कॉमन फैक्टर क्या है? कॉमन डिनोमिनेटर, लीस्ट कॉमन मल्टीपल, एलसीएम याद है अरिथमेटिक में? The lowest common multiple in all of these experiences is the
Awareness.
yeah. So if you say, I am tired, I am thirsty, I am hungry, I am bored, I am interested, I am thrilled, I am uninterested, ये सब स्टेटमेंट में कॉमन एलसीएम निकालने का है, तो द कॉमन एलसीएम इज आई एम, आई एम, आई एम, आई एम, आई एम, आई एम वॉट आफ्टर दैट डजेंट मैटर. एलसीएम ऐसे ही निकलता है ना, वो बाद में वाला छोड़ दो, जो कॉमन है वो निकालो. कॉमन है आई एम. So if you want to find the dreamer, asking the question, who is this dreamer in this dream? We have to look at this I am. Because in this whole dream, everything that is happening to I am. So who is this one, this I that is experiencing this dream? And so who is that I? That I is that which is the container of all that you're experiencing. जिसके बदौलत, जिसके अंदर, जिसको ये सब कुछ हो रहा है सपने में, is that I. And by asking yourself the question, am I there? And you look somewhere and you touch that place and you say, yes, I'm there. What is that which is always experiencing your life? Whether you're happy or you're sad or you're in grief or you're in ecstasy, what is that common energy, that common awareness which is always present and available to experience all of this, which remains unchanged? And that is the eternal I, which cannot change, does not change. That is how we touch that dreamer. That is how we discover the dreamer. That is how we find the dreamer in this dream. By groping around, ये कौन है जो जिसको ये सब हो रहा है? ये देखते हैं और कहीं एक एहसास होता है. You have this knowing, this certainty that the same one that was in Delhi yesterday, that same one is here in Mumbai today. Even though the place changed, Delhi, Mumbai, place changed, thought changed, the shirt changed. In fact, this is one of the shirts I've got from Delhi. So the shirt changed from what I was wearing yesterday. But the same I is wearing that shirt. The same I is experiencing this shirt. The I has not changed. I was in Delhi and now I am in Mumbai. But the I has not changed. The place has changed. So, how to find the dreamer is keeping on looking for that which is not changing, that which is always there, that which is always present in you, as you, through you, by you. And when you find that I, we understand what its qualities are. What are the qualities of this I? And we find that it is infinite. We find that it is eternal. We find that it is unchanging. We find that it is formless, colorless, placeless, dimensionless, endless, limitless. And we find that it is fully accepting of everything that appears in it. The dreamer who is dreaming simply allows whatever appears in the dream to appear, not saying no to anything, becomes one with whatever appears. And so this dreamer called I is all accepting, which means it is all loving. Because acceptance is love. Like Sandhya Ben said, what is hatred but non-acceptance? Non-acceptance equals hatred, and acceptance equals love. So many ways to reach this dreamer. So many ways. And every way, every experience can be used to do the tapo of the dreamer. Every experience can be used to do the tapo of the dreamer. Any experience, it doesn't matter. Whether it's a good experience, so-called, or bad experience, just like no matter in the dream you're dreaming of monsters or you're dreaming of, I don't know, the most beautiful scenery or person. You can use that monster also. You trace back the monster. You will go through the monster, you will find that it is also being dreamt by the same dreamer. If you trace the beautiful scenery and the sunset and whatever, you trace that also, you will find that it is being experienced only by the dreamer. So any and all experience can be used to trace back and go वो जो I I don't know, we used to call it daba, ice spice, and kya kya naam the for hide and seek. But any experience can be used to go, got you, found you, found you, found you, found you again. There you are, there you are. अरे इधर दिख गया, दिख गया, दिख गया, दिख गया. So और जैसे ही दिख गया, तो वो जो दिख गया उसके गुण जो है उसको हम वापस गेम में ले आते हैं. जो दिख गया उसके गुण को. There you are, there you are. Okay, now what are you like? What are you really like? Is jealousy your true nature? Is possessiveness your true nature? Is craving and aversion your true nature? And we find that it is not, because directly you see that it is fully accepting. Jo bhi ho raha hai, it embraces. So, and when you do that, now this game becomes one of expressing that quality in the game rather than playing hide and seek. See, this hide and seek game, if you at least start playing the hide and seek, you are lucky. The ones who are not even in this game, they don't even know that they are looking for something. Like blindly in a storm, just floundering around with no eyes, no looking for this in anything, in alcohol, in drugs, in sex, or in money, or power, or wealth. Just find they're looking for that, but they don't know what they're looking for. So they are playing hide and seek without knowing who is hiding or what is hiding, and they look for it everywhere, but they're looking in all the wrong places. So that is the step 0. Step 1 is, at least you know, I'm looking for that dreamer. And when you're looking for that dreamer, now you're really playing hide and seek. And then the final stage is when the hide and seek is over and you no longer, there's nothing hidden. You immediately see that in everything. It doesn't take you, sometimes it takes a lifetime. It takes a whole lifetime for somebody to see love somewhere or to forgive somebody. It can take an entire lifetime, or it can be a moment. So the sooner every experience takes you back to the dreamer, the faster you're playing this hide and seek. Found you, found you, found you, found you, dig gaya. And the faster you're playing it, the more you are with that. Every time you find that, it comes to you. It is your friend. Just like वो जो छिपा होता है उसको जब भी आप वो थप्पो करते हैं तो वो बाहर आता है आपके पास. So every time you discover this in every experience, that which you truly are comes closer to you again and again, again and again, until it becomes you. And now you are no longer need to play hide and seek because it is no longer hidden at all. And now all you can do and are, because you have become that, is to express that. Instead of playing hide and seek, you now play creation. You play the dream of your dreams, the expression of love. You don't need to go on hiding and finding. You are with that and playing with that, whatever game it is that is next. But you don't have to play hide and seek anymore. Great. So beautiful. I was in Delhi, as I was telling everybody, at this summit, and it was a conference with a lot of the ministers and chief minister and so many wonderful leaders. But and what struck me is the professionalism that this generation of leaders is bringing to the table. I may not agree necessarily with everything or every policy that they have, but the level of professionalism, the level of understanding of the situation, understanding of the issues, their comfort level with numbers, with what is involved, how big is the problem, what is the problem, is so beautiful. You talk to the Minister of Transportation and he knows exactly how many miles and kilometers of highways we are building every hour or every day. He has that number on the top of his head. And they're shooting for, I think, 100 kilometers a day, if I'm not mistaken. And they're somewhere right now in the 40-kilometer range, which is also very high compared to what it used to be. 40 kilometers of new highway being added every day somewhere in India. So, um, so that was what was very, very, very empowering and very wonderful to see. And every minister, I mean, we met so many of them, and they all spoke about their own areas, but they were so professional in their approach. Gone are the days of the, you know anguta chap minister who knows nothing except politics. These are driven, professional, dedicated individuals. And we may debate their particular brand of solution in some areas and some others and so on, but you cannot debate their professionalism. So it was very empowering, very, very wonderful. And got a chance to walk around Delhi a little bit, and got a chance to meet Anamika, who lives in near Delhi. After all these months and months of just seeing each other online, it was good to be with somebody in person, in physical form. It was wonderful. So Delhi, somehow, of course, the pollution and all that is horrible, but somehow Delhi has a electricity which is palpable. There is a sense of accomplishment. There's a sense of energy, a sense of accomplishment, and things getting done. It's such a modern city. I mean, modern, not in a garish kind of way, but in a very wonderfully developed. I'm talking, of course, about New Delhi and the diplomatic enclave, and I cannot speak for the entire Delhi, but at least these parts where we were, so well developed and so, very nice, very nice. It can be it you can compare it to any city in, and better than some cities in Europe or the US or elsewhere. um, so it was very, very interesting listening to all of them, asking some questions here and there. But yep. And good. So, anything anyone would like to say, share, ask before we close? Purushottam ji.
This was a very wonderful and unique way of looking at negative emotions.
Right.
Instead of fighting with it, we accept it. And the example was very nice. If you are fighting with a wave, oh, wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
Very nicely explained. Thank you.
Right.
Thank
Don't
you.
don't fight anger, embrace it. Don't fight with your wife, embrace your wife.
No other way.
No other way. You fight, your boat is going to break. uh, yeah, any ministers coming to Open Door? Wow, that would be wonderful. We don't have that kind of access to them, but even if some of the senior people get there, and so one person I actually met was a lady from who was, I found out later she's from the Air Force, and and a squadron leader at that. And we had met one small family who was from Maharashtra. Somehow they said, we are abandoned in Delhi. We came here to work. We don't have work, and we need help. So I've seen this kind of family here, and I've helped them in the past. But I always have a little question in the back whether they are really stranded or they're just, this is their gig. I'm stranded. Please give me money. But I said I'm going to help them regardless. But this lady actually withdrew money from her ATM, and as she was counting, she had 10 500 rupee notes, and she was counting 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. And I was thinking, okay, one she may be giving to this person. She counted 10 and gave all 10 to this person, to this family. And I was just so I was like, wow, this is the kind of generosity. And wow, if this is the quality of people in our armed forces, then we really are lucky that she has so much compassion and generosity. And and I can't imagine that in the armed forces you are certain, you may be well off, but you're certainly not among the rich of the rich or anything like that. And yet, to just at a drop of a hat just give away 5,000 rupees, I thought that was very, very incredible. So even if we can get people like that to also come to Open Door, we'll be lucky. But so we'll see, maybe she will. But yeah, uh, ultimately all politics, all leadership is nothing but, true leadership is nothing but expressing, bringing that to this. And the this that you deal with is now not just your house and your family, and just not just your immediate problem, but the this that you're bringing it to is the whole country, or a whole area of a country, whether it's railways or it's power. So let's take power, and you say, how do I bring that to this? And the this in that case is power. So if we can, yeah, certainly if we can teach them all I meditation, insta meditation, then I think we will see a transformation and a acceleration in on all fronts. Because that, if it is brought into this, is the ultimate source of power, is the ultimate source of energy, is the ultimate source of infinite abundance. So yes, Sonal, so tathastu, may it happen that ministers and people who are in that kind of position to make a difference in the lives of millions of people get this message.
I asked you the question for that only. How did you
Yes.
land into a spiritual guru landing into politics?
No, I'm not into politics by any
No,
means,
no,
but I'm into
politics is
politics in
transparent.
this. Right. No, but I'm, because what is our purpose? What is our purpose of Open Door or this understanding? The ultimate purpose is freedom from suffering. Making a difference in the lives of people is what Open Door is all about. Right? We this whatever discussion, whatever understanding, whatever meditation, whatever music, ultimately what is the purpose? The ultimate purpose is, how can I make a difference in the lives of people? People who attend, people who don't attend, people everywhere. And so our job is to bring this understanding, this knowledge to all walks of life. And politics happens to be a concentration of wealth, a concentration of power. And if that wealth and power is utilized in the right direction, in the right way, then the making of a difference is multiplied and accelerated. So the only reason I was there is to understand what our leaders are, really thinking, where are they, and maybe making contact with some of them and bringing them here. Piyush Goyal, who is a minister of, who was the minister of railways, happens to be a childhood friend of a friend of mine, his brother, his older brother, we all used to play cricket together, and he used to live right here in Sion where I grew up. And we've played many afternoons we've spent together playing board games and then going out in the evening and playing cricket. So he's personally known to me. So yeah, if we can, the idea is to spread this word, spread this knowledge more and more, so that it can reach even the places where this concentration of wealth and power exists. So you guys are all my ambassadors to bring this message to your friends and to their friends and their friends and their friends, and somewhere along the line we will reach people who are in a position to make a lot of difference in the lives of a lot of people. So please do so, all of you. I'm inviting, requesting everyone, invite more people. Okay, great, wonderful. See you next time. Thank you. I bow down to the divine that is present where you are seated. Thank you.
Thank you,
Hari,
sir. Thank you
Hari,
all.
Hari Om Tat Sat.